Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing some Assetto Corsa online racing, but unfortunately my footage of practice and the first 24 minutes of quali were corrupted, so that's why you join me now with only 6 minutes left on the clock. But anyway, to get you up to speed, this is a 10 lap GT3 race at the Red Bull Ring in Porsche 911 RSRs, and so far I'm on provisional pole position with a 1 minute 30.345, and that's pretty much all you need to know. Anyway, as we now leave the pit lane, I was pretty confident in the track and the car, probably done about 20 laps in total between practice and quali by this point, but with that being said, I knew there'd be no way I'll be going any faster than that 1 minute 30.345. No matter what I did, I just couldn't improve on my time throughout the remainder of the session, with that time being about 2.5 tenths up on P2, so at this point I was sitting quite comfortably waiting for the race to begin. And just like that, about 5 minutes later, the checkered flag fell with me still on pole position. But in Assetto Corsa, you can still take a couple more lap times after that time has reached 0, so it still wasn't over yet, but to be honest, I was pretty smug that nobody could go any faster. But anyway, coming into the pit lane on my 17th lap, don't want to hold up the guy behind, and again, I'm really annoyed my footage from earlier in the session was corrupted, but regardless, it is what it is, and the race is the main event, and that came out just fine, thankfully. And now, as we come through the pit lane, this half an hour qualifying finally comes to an end, with me on pole position, with only about 2 seconds separating the top 7, so we should be on for a good race, so let's begin. So here we are at the Red Bull Ring, starting in pole position, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are underway for this 10 lap race, getting away well, but not quite as well as the cars behind. Car on the right inching closer to the back bumper as we come towards the first corner, braking hard, braking late, but not quite as late as the car on the right. Contact there as we're forced onto the runoff there at turn 1, as we see in front P1 and 2 making contact with P2, spinning out of the race, as we now see one car on the right storming past on the approach to turn 2. Now coming up the hill to the sharp turn 3, braking incredibly hard into this tight corner, but not quite hard enough, making contact with the car in front. Incredibly silly mistake from me, being way too greedy on this opening lap, and I've paid the price down in P5 now on the approach to turn 4. Now trying to make a move on the car in front, going to the inside, coming towards turn 4, braking hard, trying to go round the inside, side by side with the other car, and we've just about got that position made, as we now make our way towards the latter section of the track, as we now skip ahead to the start of lap 2, coming into the first corner as there's contact in front, and I'm sent spinning into the wall. No way I could have avoided that. Thankfully it looks to be only bodywork damage, but mechanical damage must be set to a pretty low setting, which I'm thankful for, as I try and move out the way of the car storming past, coming towards turn 3. Now in 7th place, drop all the way down, as we now come towards turn 3, the sharp uphill right-hander, braking hard, braking late, as there's again more contact up there, running wide through turn 3, trying to avoid the cars in front. Of course, if this was F1, we'd be getting about 1 million penalties, but thankfully it isn't, as we now come down the short straight towards turn 4, almost 3 abreast for the cars in front coming into the corner, as we now slam on the brakes at the 100-meter board, coming into the corner as one guy in front gets absolutely Alex Albon into the sand there. Thankfully, we don't get involved and take up 3 more positions in just one single corner. Thank you very much. Up to P4 we go. Now coming towards the end of lap 3, and somehow I'm in 3rd position. Don't know how that happened. I think the guy in front must have pitted at some point, but regardless, a place is a place. Running incredibly wide there through the final corner, abusing the track name, it's just a tad, as we make our way onto the pit straight once again, looking through our cracked and damaged windshield, as we come up the hill towards turn 1, braking nice and easy, taking a pretty good line through there, as we now right up with the car in front, in the slipstream of the car in front now, moving to the outside on the run to turn 3. Now side by side with the car to the right as we come through the short left-hander of turn 2, and now climb the hill up towards turn 3, braking hard into this corner but running wide into the runoff area, stuck on the curbs, twitching about, as we now come onto the short straight to turn 4. Now side by side with the cars to the right on the way to turn 4, getting nudged there by one of the cars to the right, and nudged once again, not leaving me any space whatsoever, as we come into turn 4, braking at the 100-meter board, trying to keep a good line, getting a switchback on P2, trying to make a move side by side on the outside, coming towards turn 5 I think it is, as we just about get the move done, braking into the next corner, and finally that intense battle is over as we round turn 5 and come towards turn 6, one of the hardest couple of corners on the entire circuit in my opinion. Now skipping ahead to the end of lap 6 and the start of lap 7. The car in front a couple light years ahead at this point as we come into the first corner, braking hard, but the car behind gets really close, almost hits the back of our car there as we come through turn 1. The car behind really starting to apply pressure on me now. With 3 laps left to go, there still is plenty an opportunity for them to make a move as we now come through the quick flat out turn 2 and now up the hill towards turn 3. Braking hard once again at first gear corner, very tight as we make our way onto the short straight once again to turn 4. Now coming towards the end of lap 8 and finally some peace and quiet. About a second gap towards the car behind, so it looks like we've got P2 in the bag for the final 2 laps of this race. Coming into the penultimate corner, running a bit wide, in fact incredibly wide through there. As we now come into the final corner, nice and tidy through there, as the car behind also goes incredibly wide, so it kind of balances it out then, as we now come onto the pit straight and ascend the hill towards the first corner on the 9th lap of this race. Still trying to keep the car behind at bay as we come towards turn 1. Nice and steady through there, taking the apex and running wide onto the curbs there. Now skipping ahead to the end of the race, rounding the final corner of lap 10 as we come back onto the pit straight and finish the race in P2, weaving side to side on the pit straight as we take the checkered flag. Certainly not the most clean of races, I have to say, especially on those opening couple of laps. But anyway, it still was a ton of fun, and now there's only one way to celebrate, and that is with some donuts. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this new style of video. I'm probably going to keep doing them in the future because they are a ton of fun, and I hope you guys think the same. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe, comment, share, and I'll be back in the next video. See ya!